Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Avatar: The Legend of Korra, Season 2, Episode 2. Yes, last time we got our new conflict. I don't want to say villain because I'm not sure, even if I kind of have the feeling of who the villain is. I am not 100% sure of that. So I am calling this a new conflict, a way in which our characters are being challenged. And this is now coming from the spirit world. And I think it's very fitting thanks to the name of the book that we are about to watch, the Book of Spirits. So, yes, I am still intrigued to know how this is going to have a repercussion in our show, how the spirits are going to interact with our characters, because again, if we base ourselves in what we saw in the last series, in the legend, not the Legend of Korra, in the last Airbender, the spirit world is angry because, or was angry in that case, because of the Fire Nation. Because of the Fire Nation didn't care about the spirit world, they just care about the physical world, and in their conquer of the physical world, they destroy places that were sacred to some spirits, and that's why some spirits attack certain places. And Aang always portrayed them as benign spirits. There was only one, the one that took away the faces of other people, that is portrayed kind of, I don't know, like an evil spirit. But the rest were portrayed very calm and very collective. So for me, it's hard to see the spirit world as the enemy. Perhaps it's my own base opinion, but I want to see a reasoning behind this, because I don't think this festival is the true reason of the upset of the spirits. And again, my suspicions are with the leader of the North Pole tribes, of the water tribes. So yeah, those are my suspicions. And again, I think it's way too convenient the way he managed the spirit, the way he managed the attack, everything that was portrayed in the last episode. I'm highly suspicious of that. But perhaps I'm right, perhaps I'm wrong. I don't think I will know just by speculating in my presentation. So let me just quickly remind you that if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications. If you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, the episode, or the commentary once you see them all. Remember that in the link there is the description. God damn it! In the description there is the link for my Twitter, for the reaction, and for my Patreon, in which place you are going to find the uncut reaction. That is what I'm trying to say, not the bullshit that I was just, well, blabbling about. Anyway, let's cut the presentation before I embarrass myself a little bit more and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the second episode of the second season of Korra. It feels so good to be right. It feels so fucking amazing to be right. But before I boast about that, because yes, I called that from the first time I saw that dude. Before going to that happy place for me, let's speak about the two sides of this episode. Let's start with the more fun side, but with an unexpected twist by the end. They visit, and I mean Tencent's family, his two siblings, and his, well, now 4 children, and of course his wife. They all visit the Southern Air Temple, in the place in which Aang was born. Obviously, it has been rebuilt, it has been reconstructed, and we have monks that walk among them, but obviously they are not airbenders. Airbenders were eliminated from the world thanks to the asshole of one of the previous Fire Lords, the one who was friends with Roku. I don't remember his name, I don't recall his name. Sozen! Yes! I connected the comment and all that. Anyway, we got our air temple, and obviously Tencent and his family is treated like, well, royalty, because they are the last airbenders, literally the last. airbenders. And they are treated so well that anything you wanted, you have it. So yes. And that is the fun side. The fun side, obviously, that how the other brother and sister are treated. Like, oh my god, you are the son and daughter of Avatar Aang. We have more airbenders. But at the moment they figure out, no, we are not airbenders. Okay, okay, sure, whatever. I don't care. So yes, they are treated like, honestly, they are treated like servants. She thought that they were servants. One of the members of the Air Temple thought that they were servants. Which, honestly, poor brother and sister, poor fellows, because yeah, it's kind of depressing to see that. And even when they figured out they were air vendors, they was, oh, okay, yeah. Sorry about that, but I don't. It feels like almost okay, but I don't care about that. If you are not air vendors, I don't care. So yes, that's the way I feel about them. Poor them. I don't know if they are vendors or if they are not, but the sister seems like she's a waterbender. Perhaps she inherited that from Katara. So perhaps she's a waterbender. And the son, the other one, Bumi, I don't know if he's a bender, because yeah, if he's not an airbender, he must be a waterbender. But he doesn't feel like a waterbender to me. The way he dressed, the way he looks, he doesn't feel like a waterbender. So I don't know if he's a bender. I thought, when I saw him, I thought he was an airbender. I really thought that. But I don't know, perhaps he's not a bender. I guess we're going to figure it out in the future. Now, we got to the temple, we saw this, and obviously the kids are still as crazy as always. They are just kids, they want to have fun. Iki, yeah, doesn't care, she just wants everything. She's a very selfish kid. Again, she is just a kid. It's understandable the way she behaves. The other one, I don't recall his name. Yeah, he's a kid, he just wants to play and do crazy stuff. It's understandable. Genora is another business. Genora feels more spiritually connected to her element. She feels more spiritual to me, very similar to Tencent. She's very calm, she's very collected. Hell, I even call her mature. Perhaps because she is the eldest child, or perhaps it's just part of her personality. I don't know. But yes, I feel like she is like that. She's more centered, she's more spiritual. And I think the show is pushing towards that aspect. Because, yeah, we got that briefly when they entered the statue part of the temple, the statue chamber. I don't really know how to call that place, with all the previous avatars. And she is obviously watching his grandpa's statue, Avatar Aang. That he's there and he's very calm, very stoic, for obviously the statue is meant to represent that. We know that Aang has another type of personality, more happy, more upbeat. But yes, you obviously know that Aang is very spiritual connected. This is something I have said during my reaction of the episode, and I think is very well portrayed. But again, this part is obviously kind of portraying Genora as a more spiritually connected, and that is obvious later on when she awakes at, I don't know what time it was, like 5 in the morning for her, but very early, and she started to explore that part of the temple with the statues, because she felt something back then when she was with her dad, but she went and explored something else because something is calling her, and she found a wooden statue of a different avatar. It looks like a waterbender. Obviously an avatar can bend the other elements, but belonging to one of the water tribes. That is what I feel it is. And she doesn't, and I think it's a she. Again, sorry if I'm assuming wrong, but I think it's a she. This avatar is a she. I think it's the only statue that is made out of wood. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the only one that I see that is made out of wood. So yes, and I feel that she has a special connection, this avatar I mean, has a special or had a special connection with the Southern Water Tribe. Because in the moment that Korra opened the gate of the spiritual world in the South Pole, the statue light up, and it's not like when Aang entered the Avatar state, in which we saw all the statue shine and bright and all of that. No, it was only her statue. It was only hers. Because we saw an image in Genora's site, that we saw a statue behind her that didn't light up. So the only statue that lighted up was this wooden statue of this avatar. What is this the case? Who was she? Why is she so important? And what is the connection with this avatar and Genora? What is the connection? What is going on here? And she doesn't have arms, or she didn't have arms, or the rotten of the wood is just caused that to, well, not have arms in the statue, because that is what it looks like, that she doesn't have any arms. And again, I'm assuming she's a she thanks to the way she is, well, portrayed. Correct me if I'm wrong, or perhaps I'm wrong. So yeah, I'm obviously curious about this. And again, just as I said during my reaction, I thought the air temple part was going to be the light part, the funny part, and yes, for the majority it was. But there is something else going on here. And I like how they are connecting these two sides of the story. I really, really do. Now, let's go to the part of the South Pole. They need to open the gates of the spirit world, and you see the conflict between the two brothers, Chief Unalog and Korra's dad. Everything the show is doing in this episode and in the last one is making you feel that Korra's dad is the bad guy, that Korra's dad is completely on the wrong and he should trust his brother more. That is, I think, a common trope, so you can be misguided and you can feel more sympathy towards Chief Unalog instead of Korra's dad. But honestly, I never fell for that. It felt weird. Unalog felt weird. He felt very shady. Very shady. I don't know, I had that feeling in the moment I met him. I was correct. Because yes, during the trouble, again, the story of Korra's dad and how he was banished from the north, everything is pointing towards that moment. Everything is pointing towards, yes, trust Chief Unalog. Trust him. He's on the right. I think they were pushing hard on that one. But that makes me more and more suspicious of that character. Because yes, I'm not denying that Korra's dad was on the wrong in a certain point. I don't doubt that. He made a mistake by attacking the forest of the spirits, yes, and trying not to redeem that part. Okay, yes, I damaged the forest, brother helped me repair the damage I did. He made a mistake back then. He made a mistake by not telling Korra about this. He should have been more open. I understand him, but he should have been more open. And I understand the frustration in Korra because he is overprotective. He doesn't want to let Korra live his life. And that is the opposite of what was going on with Aang. For the different circumstances. Aang had a lot more freedom. He can choose his masters. He can choose whoever he could teach the other three elements that he didn't master. He could choose that. Well, except for the fire, because he was kind of pushed, but we understand that other moment. But he has a lot more freedom. He can travel, he can learn, he can see the world. Korra cannot. Korra was constricted into this part of the North Pole in which she cannot abandon this place. Everybody was taught to her by somebody else, by teachers that were chosen for her. She lost her freedom. And I understand that frustration in Korra. I understand that absolutely. And this is why she is reacting the way she is in this episode. And yes, I understand that she was a little bit snippy against Mako, because yeah, she was tense, everybody was hiding something, and there was only one person that could trust him, that she could trust, and that person trusts on her. And in this case was Chief Unalog. So yeah, I understand why she was the way she was in the episode. And I like the fact that she apologized at the end. I'm sorry I was tense, sorry about that. I like that aspect of Korra. That, okay, she's starting to understand that not everything revolves around her. Even if she is the avatar, not everything revolves around her. I like that. So yes, it's an interesting part of the episode. Again, the difference between Aang and Korra, the different circumstances, and that is what is making Korra trust more Unalaq, because Unalaq is not forcing her to do anything. He's telling her, we need to save them, we need to do this, we need to do that. I can teach you, I can give you a different guidance of what we are being taught before. And that is what Korra appreciates, because perhaps there was not freedom, it was pretend freedom, because I guess Chief Unalaq, in the moment that Korra rejects him, he will be going crazy and he will have forced her to do that. But in the way he approached this, he said, okay, you have the freedom of reject me. This pretend freedom that he said, okay, yes, you can follow me or you can stay here. But in the way he was behaving, it was saying, yes, I'm pushing you towards this decision. You like it or not, but you are going to like it because you are going to believe it's your own decision. And yes, that is the taste of freedom that Korra has. That is why I said the difference between Korra and Aang. That is the point of that. That how Korra is being manipulated here into choosing something by believing that was his own choice. But it wasn't actually. She was kind of forced into this. Kind of. In a more discreet way, obviously. But anyway, yes, this is intriguing, all the little subtleties that we got there. And I like that. I like how they are using Korra's past to forge this arc. And now we got the part in which I can gloat. Because I fucking called it. The show was pushing so hard for us to like Unalaq. And I knew there was something shady about him. And he was planning an invasion to the South Pole, because this was obviously planned. For them to be able to bring these many troops to the South Pole from the North Pole this fast, because I think it happens like in 2 or 3 days, there was a plan. And the plan was to force the South Pole to be just like the North Pole. Exactly like that. Even by force. Because I guess Chief Unalaq knew that his brother was not going to go down easily. And that's why he said to his troops, depart 4 days later than us, or 5, I don't know how many days have passed. And we're going to take over the South Pole. We are going to take away their freedoms and they are going to be just like us. And you can see now just how much of a scumbag Unalaq really is. Even if his intentions are good, remember, the way to hell is paved with good intentions. So I was right, and it feels so good to say that. But honestly, I never thought I was going to be saying this so soon. I thought we were going to see a more patient villain, let's say. I was going to see a more subtle way. Okay, he is going to manipulate Korra. She's going to be manipulated, and he's going to say this and that. I thought it was going to be more subtle, but no. He said, "Fuck it, I want to conquer the South Pole." So yes, I was right, and it feels so good because now I think we have our villain for the series. I don't know if he's going to be as good as Amon. I don't know, but I'm eager to see what is going to happen. But anyway, yes, I think I really exhausted the topic of this one. And let me just quickly remind you that if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications so you can get up to date with whatever we are doing with the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, the episode, or my commentary. Remember that in the description below there is a link for my Twitter. If you want to follow me, the link is there for the reaction, but if you are here, you already knew that. And obviously for my Patreon, in which you can find the uncut reaction. So, I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoy it, and I have nothing else to say, but thank you for your attention, and well, see you on the next one. Bye!